4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register. Appreciate you tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by the Madison Central girls and boys cross-country teams. Yesterday up in Paris at the Bourbon County Park, the girls finished 4th in the KHSAA Class 3A state championships. Highest finish ever for the girls. The boys were 16th, and of course, Ciara O'Shea with the girls there won her 5th straight state title, a new state record. But they'll all be here in just a minute to talk a little bit more about that. But as always, we like to start off the show the way we always start off the show, with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports. And of course, we got to start right there with cross country up at yesterday up at the Bourbon County Park in Paris. Me and Ricky Elkins made our yearly pilgrimage up to Bourbon County and our yearly pilgrimage to watch Ciara O'Shea win state championship, because that's what she does. 5th consecutive state championship that no one else has ever done that in the history of girls Kentucky high school cross country. And she did it in unbelievable fashion. 17:07.6, which was an all-class state record, which means, to put that in layman's terms for you guys folks, in the history of KHSAA girls high school cross country, no runner in any class in any year has ever put up a faster time than Ciara O'Shea did on Saturday. She beat out Jessica Secor of DuPont Manual by 1 minute exactly to claim her 5th state title in a row. Several other women had won 4 in a row. No one had ever won 5. So she adds to just her unbelievably impressive resume that she just keeps building onto and building onto. So now about 9 all-time state titles for her, 5 in cross-country, 4 in track. And she'll be here in just a minute to talk about it. And we look forward to that. But in addition, though, Madison Central finishing 4th overall, the highest finish ever by the team in state history. Freshman Shelby Lamb finishing 5th. Junior Meredith Campbell finishing 25th. 8th grader Abigail Beal, 28th. Freshman Junior Amelia Reynolds, 79th. Freshman Alexis Nigich, 96th, and sophomore Michaela Beckett with 109th. So it was a fun day up in Bourbon County, and also a fun day for the boys. They finished 16th with 460 points, and it was senior Chase Lockmuller, 49th. He posted a time of 16:57.1, and junior Carter Lamb finishing 65th. Junior Brody Campbell finishing 94th. Junior Elijah Carrico, 145th. Sophomore Michael Capello, 162nd, sophomore Mark Capello, 214th, and sophomore Alec Olson, 217, and freshman Caden Coleman at 275. And here in just a minute, we're going to have Chase and Carter here to talk about their day at the state cross-country championships. Chase has been battling some injuries all year, but he finished up his high school cross-country career with a very strong performance. So look forward to talking to Chase and Carter here in just a minute. In addition to the Class 3A state championship, the Class A state championship was also Saturday at the Bourbon County Park in Paris. Model had a couple of runners in that event, and it was Sahil Cuddy Poffenberger finishing 49th, and Ty Balzer finishing 71st. So we bring an end to high school cross-country season in Kentucky, and we move into the last week of the regular season for Kentucky high school football. All 3 teams were in action last week in the final week of the regular season, and we'll start off down in Berea, where the Pirates were taking on their rivals. A little rivalry that's developed here between them and Jellicoe, Tennessee, but it was senior night for the Pirates. And what Frank Parks Jr. called an ugly win, but it was still a win, and it was the Pirates picking up a 21-7 win over Jellicoe to move to 4-6 on the season, a 4th straight win over Jellicoe for the Pirates. This game was 0-0 until right before the half when Sean Kett came up with an interception and returned it for a touchdown. And then second half, it was Yamel Cruz with a pair of touchdown runs, one of 30 yards and one of 81 yards. And Pirates head into the postseason with a little momentum. And afterwards, our friend Ricky Elkins got a chance to talk to Coach Frank Parks Jr.
Here we are with Coach Frank Parks Jr. with the Berea Pirates, their final game of the season, and come away with a big win, 21-7. Coach, your thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, defensively, we played a great game. I got to give hats off to those guys defensively. Offensively, we struggled a little bit. We just didn't play clean football. We didn't execute very well. Had mistakes on all levels. But defensively, they did a great job causing turnovers, actually scoring off one of them. So my hats off to the defense because they really carried us. And sometimes you have to win ugly, and that's what we did tonight.
You kind of highlighted both your good passing and running game. Of course, Cruz came up with a couple good plays and a couple of TDs, and then you had several good pass plays that netted you a whole lot of yardage.
Yeah, we were spotty in the passing game. We had some guys open, and sometimes, you miss those guys, but we made a couple crucial catches on a big fourth down that helped us score. So, we made a couple plays when we needed them, but, going into next week, we want to clean those pass plays up and take advantage when we have those guys open. But overall, we made the plays when we needed it, and like I said earlier, it's better to win ugly than not win at all.
So let's talk about next week. You're going into the playoffs, big win. It's got to be a positive. Who are you playing?
We go play Dayton out of North Kentucky. They got some good size up front, and they're going to be a disciplined football team. Anytime you go up North Kentucky, they play very sound football and fundamentally, and you have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. So, we got to get back to the drawing board and correct some mistakes that we made tonight and get back to our fundamentals, and I think we have a great chance of coming back victorious.
Well, we want to say congratulations tonight and good luck next week, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, a win is a win, even if it wasn't the prettiest of wins, as Coach Parks was just saying there. But I'm sure the Pirates will take it 4-6 to close out the regular season, and they'll be opening the Class 1A playoffs this Friday night up at Dayton, Northern Kentucky. Dayton is a team that's 5-5. Of course, these two teams played each other back in 2019 up in Northern Kentucky. But it should be a very good, very exciting first-round matchup for the Berea Pirates this coming Friday night. Heading into the final week of the regular season, the Madison Southern football team still had a chance to improve its playoff positioning. They finished in a three-way tie for second place in their district with West Jessamine and Collins. All three teams were at 2-2. The tiebreaker, according to KHSAA rules, is the RPI, the Ratings Percentage Index. And coming into the weekend, Madison Southern had the worst RPI of those three teams. But a win on the road over Franklin County on Friday night would certainly improve that RPI, especially if they could get some help from West Jessamine and Collins. And that's part of that is exactly what happened. West Jessamine lost, Collins lost, but so did Madison Southern. It was 42-8, Franklin County picking up the win over the Eagles. 4 turnovers for Madison Southern, 3 interceptions. It was 14-0 early. Juan Rodriguez did have a 6-yard touchdown run to get Southern back in the game, but it was 21-8 at halftime. Southern falls to 3-6 on the season, and they will open up the Class 5A playoffs this Friday night in Somerset against undefeated Southwestern. Of course, Southwestern and Southern opened the season against each other 2 months ago back in Berea. That was a game that Madison Southern was actually up 19-0 in, but Southwestern rallied to pick up a 27-19 win. So that's 7:30 Friday night down in Somerset. And speaking of Southwestern, that's who Madison Central finished out the regular season with last Friday here in Richmond. And the Indians came into this one really beat up. Lots of kids either out or dealing with some serious injury problems. And it only got worse as the game went on. They had some other guys go down, Brock Eads and Bryant Mathis, and the injuries just kept piling up for the Indians. And the Warriors rolled to a 36-0 win over Madison Central. They were up 21-0 at halftime. Southwestern had 25 first downs, 386 yards of total offense, 316 of those on the ground. 6th straight win for Southwestern over Central, and it's the first time Central had been shut out since they played Southwestern last year. So Madison Central finished with just 169 total yards, 139 on the ground. Brady Hensley, 19 carries, 112 yards. Hagen Harrison, just 2 of 13 for 30 yards with an interception. Good news, Central fans, though, is they do finish as the number 2 seed in their district, and they will be at home for the first round of the playoffs this Friday night against Henry Clay. So that'll be the 7-3 Indians versus the 3-7 Blue Devils at 7:30 Friday night at Tomahawk Valley, and we'll be there for the tailgate show. So if you're there, come say hello to us out in the parking lot. So
Pizza.
yes. So as high school football heads into the postseason, we wrapped up high school volleyball here in Madison County last week. Monday night was the opening round of the 11th Region Tournament at various sites across the region. And the Madison County teams ended up with rematches of regular season games as Lexington Catholic took on Madison Central here in Richmond, and Madison Southern traveled up to Scott County to take on the Cardinals. And we'll start off with Madison Central. Now, of course, when Madison Central took on Lexington Catholic about a month ago up in Lexington, they picked up a 3-1 win. The rematch, though, unfortunately turned out much different, as it was the Lady Knights picking up a 3-0 win here in Richmond, 25-22, 25-18, and 27-25. Journey Mezzarendino with 19 assists and 15 digs. Avery Rigney with 17 kills. Emma Carter with 11 assists. Madison Central finishes the season at 26-11. Madison Southern lost to Scott County earlier this year up in Georgetown. The teams met again on Monday in Georgetown, and it was the same result again, a 3-0 loss for Madison Southern. 25-17, 25-14, 25-16. Julia Bingham with 9 kills and 8 digs. Jordan Walker with 8 assists and 5 digs. And Madison Southern finishes the season at 11-19. EKU football, Colonels were on the road just this past week. A big road test against number 15th ranked Southeast Missouri State. Of course, this is an old rivalry because they used to be in the Ohio Valley Conference together, but things didn't start off too well for the Colonels. They were down 10-0 early. It was 16-0 at halftime, but the Colonels really showed a lot of guts and courage, and 22 points in the third quarter, rallied for a 28-23 win to move to 5-3 on the season. Big win for their playoff chances. It really helps their positioning, and probably will jump back into the top 25 this week after this victory. And once again, it was Parker McKinney. Can't say enough about this young man and the career he's had at Eastern Kentucky University. But 35 of 43, 398 yards, 1 touchdown. Once again, it was not intercepted and was not sacked, and he also ran for 2 touchdowns. Braden Sloan, 6 catches for 97 yards. Jaden Higgins with a TD catch. EKU back at home on Saturday night, 5 o'clock against Central Arkansas over here at Roy Kidd Bank, or as I like to call it, Roy Kidd's Bank, Roy Kidd Stadium. But back in the A-Sun play, they're 1-1 in the A-Sun, so if they want to get that automatic bid from the A-Sun WAC Alliance, these next 3 games are really important. Central Arkansas, Jacksonville State, and Kennesaw State. So, but they're now in a pretty good position, though, to get in consideration for an FCS playoff bid, with already having 5 wins and a win over an FBS team as well. A couple other news and notes to pass along to you. Just Saturday night over here at Roy Kidd Stadium was the Kentucky Music Educators Association State Championships for the marching bands. And it was Madison Central taking first place in the Class 5A division. They were in first place after the preliminary rounds. They came out Saturday night at 10:30. That's how these things go. They run pretty late into the evening. But they came back out at 10:30 and put together a dang near flawless performance, and went on to beat out the perennial state powerhouse Lafayette for the championship. We've got tons of pictures of that on our social media sites, both the Richmond Register and Richmond Register Sports sites. So if you want to go check those out, those have gotten a huge response from people. And look for some of that stuff in the Tuesday edition of the Richmond Register. I think you'll see that on the front page. So congratulations to the Madison Central Band. And our buddy Vince Stover is the head coach now over at the Wellspring Guardians, the homeschool team here in Richmond. And they opened up their high school basketball season on Saturday with a 67-59 win over the Cumberland Christian Home Educators. That game was here in Richmond. It was Jacob York, 19 points, 7 steals. Owen Davis, 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. And the Guardians will be back in action Tuesday at Berea Christian Academy. So we'll turn our thoughts to hoops very soon. Earlier today I was getting some texts from some basketball coaches kind of getting antsy about, hey, when are we going to get some coverage? And we're going to get to you, trust me. First high school versus KHSAA high school basketball games aren't actually until after Thanksgiving, but we will certainly be turning our attention to those guys pretty soon, doing some previews, doing some interviews, and all kinds of good stuff. And Berea College will start off very soon as well, so we'll be all over that. And EKU basketball as well, all kinds of good stuff coming up. So we're about ready to turn the page, but the only fall sport left is football, and we will have 3 playoff games on Friday night. Madison Southern at Pulaski, Berea at Dayton, and right here in Richmond it'll be Henry Clay versus Madison Central. So, well, coming up in just a minute, we're going to have the Madison Central high school cross country teams, the boys and girls, and we coaxed Coach O'Shea up here for just a minute. She didn't want to come on camera, but we made her do it. So, but no, it was a great interview. So happy for those kids, and so blessed they were able to come by and talk to us today. And we had a full crowd in here. We filmed that earlier. We'll just be honest about it. We had like 20 people in the studio here. So
we need a bigger studio.
We need a bigger studio. They all wanted to come in. We want to talk to anybody who wants to talk to us. So we love everybody here in Madison County. So we spread the love as much as we can. So we'll be right back with the Madison Central cross country team.
Stephanie Miserandino here with IHOP and partner Destination Athlete, presenting Iari Gillis with the IHOP Pancake Block of the Week for his game against Bryan Station. Here's your t-shirt, 52 weeks of free pancakes, and your IHOP gift card. Congratulations.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Welcome back. We are joined by the only 5-time Kentucky Cross Country State Individual Champion, Ciara O'Shea of Madison Central. How's that sound? I know it's been about a day now. How's that sound?
It still doesn't really sound real, so I'm just kind of still soaking that in.
Yeah. Well, of course, I was going to ask you this yesterday, and I forgot, and Miss Eberly's going to be mad at me, but you had to go to Buc-ee's afterwards, right? After you won the championship. So what did you get at Buc-ee's?
We didn't end up going, actually. We came back and went to watch our band compete at their state championship, so we got to watch them win, and then just kind of went back to her house and hung out afterwards.
Yeah, no Buc-ee's. Well, maybe today.
Maybe today.
You can do this. All right. Well, it was. I talked to you afterwards yesterday, and it was, like I said, it was kind of funny because usually you don't really have any competition, and it's funny because when people look at your times, the numbers, the times you put up against when you go to regional and national events are much higher or lower, I should say, better than the times you really put up against the Kentucky runners. But a lot of times that's because, and just quite honestly, you really, last few years, haven't been challenged by anybody in the state. So when you are in those races, you kind of get challenged. You win, 16:35?
16:52.
52 in Terre Haute earlier. And so you had somebody went out with you this time, Jessica Secor of DuPont Manual, and that kind of put a burr under your saddle a little bit, I think, and you just took off and go 17:07, the fastest time in state championship history. So
I was kind of ready for her to come out with me. I just kind of had expected it, so when she did, it was kind of just like, okay, well, I planned for this, and then once we got to the first mile, I knew I wanted to be away and starting to move away from her, so just kind of hitting that first hill and using that to pull away.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of figured that because she's a senior too, and you're a senior, and you figured she would go all guns blazing. And
we've raced together
forever.
So I just kind of have gotten to know her really well throughout the years and kind of know what to expect sometimes.
Yeah, and she's a great runner. She's beaten you a few times
in
both cross country and track. She's gotten you on both sides. So you obviously have to take her very seriously every time you go up against her.
Yeah, I I never doubt anyone coming into races. Just kind of always prepared, and always just kind of never too confident going into races.
Yeah, but by the time you came up that hill, you made the hard right at the 1 mile mark. She was already gone.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know at that point you're pretty much scot-free at that point, right?
Yeah, just kind of knew I was away, but still wanted to push and see just kind of what I could get for myself.
Yeah. Did you have a number in mind, or you just wanted to see?
Not really. Not like a solid number. Just kind of wanted to see what I could give one last time out there.
Yeah. Did you know what the all-state record was, or did you even
I didn't. No, I don't ever really look at those. I try not to put that extra pressure on myself.
Yeah, I mean, you've done so many cool things in your career. I mean, obviously you and your brother were the first ever siblings to win.
Yeah.
Both in the same year. You've run the fastest time in any female in the state of Kentucky. Now 5 straight championships. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Where does this kind of match up with all those other cool things you've done in your career?
I'd say it's up there. Just kind of having another historic year out there. Getting to be the only person to ever win 5 in a row. It's a really cool feeling. Just kind of everyone knows how special that is and how hard that is to do. So just kind of getting that recognition just feels really good. Yeah,
I flash back to when you won your first one. You crossed over the line at the Kentucky Horse Park, and I think somebody came up to you and interviewed you, maybe Mile Split or somebody.
Yeah.
And they said, "You're just an 8th grader."
Yeah.
That seems like just yesterday, but you won your first one as an 8th grader and all the way out. So.
Yeah, feels like it was just the other day that I was a little 8th grader out there, and now I'm the big dog. I'm the seniors out there, so just kind of, I don't know, racing that last race, repping the MCXC jersey, just kind of has been really sad, knowing I won't be able to put that jersey back on anymore, but getting through that season and getting to share it with all my teammates and seeing how well and how far they've come too is really special.
Yeah, we have track season too, don't forget.
Well, yeah, we have track season,
yeah.
But just one final cross country meet with all the girls and the guys. So.
Yeah, and what's moving on? You got some national competitions coming up. What's your schedule look like?
Yeah, I'll race a 2 mile on the track in 2 weeks, and then back to the East Bay Foot Locker championships route. So hopefully making it back out to San Diego this year. Yeah,
and you talked about the program and coming in 4th this year is the highest finish ever, and you got I looked at everybody besides you finished higher than they did last year, of course, because you can't finish any higher than first. But just to see how far everybody has come along, and the program's in good hands. You're the only senior leaving the program.
Yeah, they have a huge future ahead of them. I think the next couple years they can continue to grow all together. They won't lose. They'll lose just me this year, and then the rest of them all come back. So I think if they continue training and pushing each other, they can be a really good team again next year.
Yeah, because Shelby finished 5th this year as a freshman. So
yeah, that's super exciting. I can't wait to watch what she can do in the rest of her career.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since you committed to North Carolina. Just talk about what other schools you were looking at and kind of what drew you to North Carolina.
I was just kind of looking at any school, just kind of all over, just talking to anyone, get a feel for all the programs and be able to compare other people to the schools that I'm really focused on. But UNC, I always felt like I had a really good connection with their coach. Just every time we talked, just felt like it was a really good understanding, just with all the communication. And then getting to meet the girls whenever I was down on campus, that really just kind of sold it. I felt like I fit in very well down there. So I'm really excited to get down there and get to train with those girls. Yeah,
you get a lot of mess from your friends here in Kentucky that you're going to UNC. I mean, are you sporting that hat a lot outside at the regional?
Yeah.
That hat on.
Yeah.
People give you a lot of grief for that around here?
Not a whole lot. A lot of the girls that I'm close with are also athletes, also committed for their sports, so they kind of know and understand how that goes, so they can't really give me too much crap for it, but just gonna be tough next year leaving all of them.
Yeah. Well, going like I said, heading into track this spring. This is your last go around, and the last couple of years you've qualified in the 18, the 16, and the 8, the 16, and the 32.
Yeah.
And you've only done the 16 and the 32. Will you take a shot this year to try to win all 3 of them on the same day? Because that would be epic right there if you were able to win all 3.
I haven't even thought about cross country or track season yet. I'm just waiting to get through cross country before I even look at that stuff.
Yeah, because it's two is hard enough, and
Yeah.
you've done that the last 2 years.
Yeah,
so.
you don't get much time between them, so putting another race in between the two would be a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a possibility, but I haven't thought about it at all.
Last chance.
Yeah, last chance.
But you don't want to get hurt or something either, though.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a lot. Well, we know that every year the fine folks at Madison Central usually get a local business to partner up with you to get you one of those cool rings. How many rings do you have now? I mean, because you have the 8 championships. How many rings have they given you?
I don't know. Maybe 7, I think.
Okay.
I think I have 7 right now.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, Randy, time for props. We have no budget here at the Richmond Register Sports Show, so we can't afford to buy you rings. So I brought you 5 ring pops. So there you go.
Thank you.
Go. And we have some others for anybody else who might want them over there. We have a big studio audience here today, so. So we're very cheap, but that's the least we can do is give you 5 ring pops. So you can put all 5 of those on. So you got the one for the thumb. So that's.
I did. Thank you.
Nobody else has ever done that before, so that's very cool. So
yeah.
I was very honored to be able to watch all 5 of them. So it's very cool, and it's been so nice to have you on the show so many times. And,
yeah, thank you for having me again.
And it's a lot of fun. So we'll be right back with. Maybe we can get Coach up here. Probably not. But we're right back
Probably
here
not.
with all your teammates. We'll be back in just a moment.
Candy's expensive.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. Well, we are joined by the Madison Central Girls Cross Country team, finishing 4th yesterday up at the Bourbon County Park at the Class 3A State Championship. And we got Shelby Lamb, Amelia Reynolds, Alexis Netch, Michaela Beckett, Meredith Campbell, and Abigail Beal. Right there is that. I made them introduce themselves. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was that? I know you guys badly wanted to get one of these trophies. So what was that moment like when you guys found out you had finished 4th and you got that trophy?
So for me and Lexi, I was doing my cool down with her, and we saw Amelia and Meredith kind of like waving us over, and I really wanted the trophy because it was just be a good year to get it. And so they pull us over after our cool down, and she's like, we got 4th. And then, like, just tears, like, flew in my eyes just knowing it was Ciara's senior year, and we got to support her like that. And we ended really well with her being our leader.
Anybody else? Thoughts on that moment?
Kind of unreal for fighting that long, being stuck at 10th for 2 years, and then moving all the way up to 4th was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, because only the top 4 teams get one of these trophies, so that was the cool part of that. Yeah. All right. Well, it was a great day, perfect day weather-wise, and unlike last year, you guys were all there last year, right? When that muddy track, and it was somebody's birthday, right? Whose birthday? We had a little birthday serenade there at right before
Coach made them all sing to me. That was a little annoying, but I guess I'm grateful. But
well, it's good to be. You get to do it with the trophy. So there you go. So you guys all mentioned, speaking Ciara's last year. Just talk about just what training and working with her and how that has made you guys. Just how she's pushed you and made you guys better. And anybody can jump in there.
We're all gonna look at each other.
Don't be afraid.
Meredith, you've been training with her longer.
I mean, I haven't really been up with her, but I just like seeing her as like a role model and look to her what to do is good to have.
Yeah.
She will be missed for sure.
Yeah. And this program is not just her. I mean, obviously she's won 5 straight state championships, but I was just looking earlier. Everybody here posted a better time than last year at state, and some unbelievably, you went up like 150 spots or something like that, or I think you were 176 last year, weren't you? And then you went up to, to 25th this year. So you're so modest. But so everybody went up, and so I guess you guys talk about your training regimen, what you guys do, and how much you run, how many times a week, and
A lot.
a lot. A lot. That was a very in-depth answer. How many miles? I mean, how many miles a week, or you guys really keep track of that, or?
We can, depending on everyone, we can average about 40 miles a week. So we do long runs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then workouts Tuesdays and Thursdays. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys have everybody back, you know. So this is a team going forward that's going to be back there again, hopefully trying to do good things. Some people are just middle schoolers, you're just an 8th grader. It was your first state experience, right? I know you've done middle school state, right? Mm-hmm. So just talk about your first state experience.
It was pretty exciting knowing, like, looking back on last year, like, I couldn't have never seen myself running state. So I was really happy to be able to do that and be given the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, all right. Well, anybody else want to say anything? You're all so quiet. I mean, Shelby finishing 5th. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't really expect to finish that high. My goal really was to place top 15 because I was ranked 14th going into the race, and I knew the girls that I needed to be up there with. And when I caught up to 6th place, or whenever I was in 6th place, and I was coming around the corner for 400 left, and I saw that one girl, the girl that was ahead of me, I saw she was within reach, and so I kicked and caught her near the end, and I was really happy, especially because it was my birthday. So.
Yeah, but I mean, you 51st last year, 51st to 5th, so. And once again, everybody just huge, big jumps forward, so that's awesome. And who's got the funky socks? That would be you, right? That would be you.
That's me.
So how many different, you did Wonder Woman at the regional, right? What was the ones on yesterday?
Those were llama socks.
Okay, so where's that tradition come from? Is it something you do for fun? Or
it started in middle school because my parents couldn't see where I was.
Oh,
they didn't know where I was.
That's a good idea, actually.
So I started with kind of ankle socks, and I just found socks funny. So I just kind of kept going, and now I have far too many because people give them to me for gifts or whatever. But yeah, it's a thing. I don't know.
Send all of your socks to Amelia.
Please don't.
No more socks. No more socks. All right. Well, anybody else anything to say? Alexis? You say anything yet? Jump in here. What's it like training with these girls? And it seems like you guys it's a fun group of kids, and you guys seem to get together, get along pretty well, and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love them all very much. And we all train hard, but they always make it fun. And we're gonna miss Ciara really much. And Coach O'Shea has been a great coach. And
do y'all want to grab her and make her come up here for just a minute?
Come on.
Go over there and get her. Go over there and get her. Just drag her up here for just a minute. Just a second, I promise. She hates doing these interviews. She absolutely hates it. Say something. You got to be proud of this group.
No, I am super proud of these girls. I told them at the beginning of the summer that if they went in there and believed in themselves, that they could be a top 5 team. And that's all I wanted for them this year. I wanted them to send Ciara out with a bang, and I feel like they did that. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys.
All right, that's awesome. I knew I shouldn't have brought her up here. I made her cry. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to do that.
Now you can make it real. Yeah.
This is why I don't like them.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have brought you up here if we knew you were going to cry. Well, congratulations to everybody. It was so much fun yesterday to watch you guys. And
Thank you.
We think you got lots of, obviously, she's done great things, but there's obviously, this program's in great hands with all y'all. And I think big things coming in the future, so we'll keep an eye on you. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll be right back with the boys.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central boys cross-country runners Chase Lockmuller and Carter Lamb. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
It's fun to watch you guys yesterday up there, and perfect day for racing, unlike last year at the state meet, huh?
Yeah, it was 70 degrees and sunny, so it was great.
Yeah, it was. You guys finishing 16th up there, and if I go through my list, you're 49th, you're 65th, and see, I've known Chase for a long time. He doesn't talk very much. This is going to be this might be a struggle of an interview here, but we're going to try. But you've had some injury problems this year, so kind of tell me about what you've been battling.
Regionals at track. After I ran the 3200, my right ankle swelled up a little bit and started to hurt. So I had to get checked out, and I had a stress fracture. So the whole summer I was out and I could only bike. So then I came back about maybe early August and was able to start training with OB.
Yeah. So you've pretty much been pretty good since then, or you still been battling a little bit, or kind of how does it feel?
No, I mean, I had to battle to get back into shape and then get my mileage up and then bring my times down, but I was able to do that and get new PRs this season.
Yeah. It's one of these things. If you don't do it, it's kind of hard to stay in that kind of shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Carter, I mean, you guys have obviously. It's interesting how cross country seems to be a family thing. So, kind of how did you get into cross country? Obviously, your sister does it too. So.
I mean, I was brought in by a group of boys 6 years ago, some odd, and it really started as kind of like a hobby, and now it's become a daily part of my life. I've been humbled by this team this year, been able to be blessed in such great ways. The team has grown so much this year. So, it started as a little thing with me, and now it's grown to like something that I do every day of my life. So
seems like that's what, especially cross country running is. It kind of becomes an obsession, right? Once you kind of get going in it, and I guess you have to be kind of obsessed to do this too, don't you? Because it's not something normal people. When I say normal, but normally people just don't do. Running around for 5 kilometers all over the place. Yeah. At least I wouldn't. I'm not never been normal anyway. Well, it seems like you kind of got, it was pretty packed in back there yesterday. You were just trying to take pictures of you, and it's hard to see you back there. Was it kind of hard to kind of break out of that middle pack there?
Yeah, especially the start where it funnels and then turns, it's really hard, especially when you get stuck on the inside. So just trying to get around people and even go outside and just pass people to get around them.
Yeah, you guys last weekend got you the 6th straight region title. So Carter, just talk about what that means for you guys and the program and everything. Because you guys, you lost Brady. Brady was obviously so good for so long, but you guys were able to. He graduates and goes off to college, and you guys able to defend your title.
Yeah, I mean, I think after losing Brady, we all kind of realized that this is a year that we all have to step up, and not only did we grow as a team, like through our times and pushing each other through practice, we've also grown more, like being more connected as a team, and we've been able to push each other in practice so much and bonded together so much like we've never before. And losing Brady it was a little sad to see him go, but now he's off in college doing great things, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll lose you. You're a senior, so the program's in good hands, though, right? I mean,
definitely.
Almost everybody else is back.
Yeah, everyone has stepped up this year, I think, and has really grown. I mean, as runners, as people, I think we've grown closer. So I think they'll do really good next year.
Yeah, of course. You came over from Model a couple years ago. They kind of take you in pretty. I know some You know, sometimes it's kind of a little awkward to transfer schools, but they can kind of take you in and everything, you know, just welcome you in.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first year, my sophomore year, was a little different because I didn't know anybody, and then especially junior year, I got to know more people on the team, and then this year, we've really grown closer.
You guys give him a little grief when he came over?
A little. I mean, sometimes, you know, when we see Model around, sometimes we throw him a little grief, but you know, it's all right now.
All right. Well, hey, Randy, you want to bring everybody over here? Let everybody come over here. We got a full house in here, parents and coaches and everybody. So why don't we have everybody come in? Hey, and by the way, here, you guys can have some ring pops if you want.
Thank you.
Parents, everybody, come in here. Come on. Oh, no, the parents don't want to come in here. All right, that's fine. This definitely is the biggest crowd we've ever had in here. Randy's going to down position. I'll get in there.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Well, none of the parents want to get in here.
They said you're wearing green.
That's all right. Well, I appreciate everybody coming in here on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, you guys probably got better things to do than talk to me, so I appreciate everybody. And it's been a lot of fun watching you guys, and we look forward to it. A lot of you guys run track too, so we'll see you in the spring as well. So everybody's taking pictures, so everybody. All right. Well, that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. We'll be back next Sunday with a new edition at 9 o'clock. And as we do we do the Madison County Sports Night Live Monday through Friday, and social media and all that blah, blah, blah stuff too. Richmond R Sports on Twitter and all that good stuff. So once again, appreciate y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He made me put the trophy down. We can put the trophy down. You guys can hold the trophy. We'll see you guys.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.